Welcome back to a gay area episode of the Careful Boys.
Oh, hello.
Let's go.
Hey, even though nobody ever cares for this context, it's always just fun to say this is our last video of the day. We are completely drained.
No, we're not.
Nuh-uh.
Speak for yourself, baby.
I could go another 10 hours, but don't have to.
It's a marathon, baby. It's a marathon.
This is still my favorite time of the JK day.
It's the
We're a
best.
little delirious.
Yeah.
Delirious time?
Yeah.
We've been talking for 10 hours straight.
Yeah. You're busting a Joe right now.
Double news.
Your cup says drunk, stoned, or stupid.
It's a game.
It's a game.
Oh. I don't care. Okay, so.
Oh.
You brought it up, dude.
No,
Cool
I'm just
cut,
reading it. I'm just reading it. You're a slut. Alright, so. What do we feel are the biggest differences between modern parenting versus the previous generation? AKA how we were raised.
Everyone's soft now. Soft as hell.
I think that's. I used to think that wasn't that true until I started coaching like the kids nowadays, and the kids nowadays are like I don't say they're more frail, but they are a little bit more like
Frail?
soft. Like
I will say
What do you
this,
mean?
though.
How old kids? Like how old?
like little ones. Like I remember.
With little ones?
Like 5, but we used to get some like 5-year-olds that were just game, you know, like they were just they weren't afraid of like
There's some gangster kids out
for
there.
sure. But I just feel a lot more kids, maybe in our area, gay area, they're like walking
Caltech.
and they're just like a little bit more like.
How long have you been teaching?
I've probably been teaching since like 2013.
So you noticed the generational difference,
Yeah,
right?
like I didn't think there was gonna be, and I see it now. And I'm like, oh yeah,
I
these
agree.
kids are a
Do you also
little.
feel though, maybe specifically in your craft, and I'm just for conversation, I don't know.
Joe's got to get it in, dude. You got to get it pumping.
Do you potentially feel like also like jiu-jitsu got like really popular?
Yeah, it's a lot more watered down.
So now it's also like more people being like, oh, like maybe I can throw my kid in this and maybe they'll get a little bit more tough. Where before maybe you wouldn't even bring your kid to jiu-jitsu.
I think that's what it is. Like the kids, like when I first started coaching, the kids that would come were already like pretty tough and were like down to like I want to fucking fight. You know, like
it's like these guys walking into karate because they're like, we need to find the toughest school so we can get to a fight, see which one's going to be wrecking us.
Because it's more popular. You see kids that like would probably do AYSO, and instead of doing that, they're gonna come do jiu-jitsu instead. And they're like they're more casual with it, so they're kind of like, I don't know, like they seem a little more unsure about like everything.
Did you ask them, why are you gay?
No, I didn't ask that.
You are gay.
Only behind their backs.
Yeah.
You know, but for the most part, it's like maybe it's just like COVID kids too. You know, like the kids that like aren't as social. Like you see that a little bit more. They're like a little bit more reserved. Because before I used to be like, yo, stop fucking talking all the time. Because the kids would always just you get them together, they're always chatting, and there's still a lot of that. But I feel like it's a lot less now. They're just like kind of to themselves and not as social. Maybe that's
Even
what-
after they get comfortable and have more friends, they're still kind of to themselves.
a little bit more than usual. I
If you
think.
coach them too hard in that state, I think it's a mistake.
Yeah. And that's why it's like the little ones you kind of have to like, you know, entertain it a little bit and not be so like a drill sergeant.
I do notice the kids kind of reflect almost stereotypically how the parents are. So
Yeah,
like
for
when
real.
we're like when I'm talking with the parents, and then you're like, my kid doesn't eat walnuts or whatever, like Red 40. And it's like, yeah, okay, maybe there are studies on shit like that. But that type of parent, they have like the soft kid.
Yeah.
And then when the dad's like a fucking blue collar guy, like those kids are usually like they're just fucking
Yeah,
ready.
yeah, yeah.
And they kind of just reflect that stereotypical, if you're like that woke mom, your kids are kind of soft and ow. And then the kids that are like from like blue collar families, they get fucking judo thrown. They're like, throw me again.
Yeah.
you're like,
That's
oh,
pretty
shit,
true.
yeah.
My own family, like, I don't know, dude. I just don't know. I'm not a dad or nothing, but my God, like, I'll hear, I'm not even gonna say a friend of mine, my brother will do this with his kid where he's like, oh, like, you're crying. Cry it out. Tell me what you're feeling. And I'm like, so fucking gay, dude.
Don't say that out loud.
Don't do this shit. Just like when I was a kid, like don't cry. What are you crying about? You're being like, don't cry like that about that. That's
Yeah, you gotta learn to not
What if-
cry about everything.
What
Right.
if your brother's trying to, what if he's trying to fix the trauma he had from like bottling it up? How do you fix that part?
I don't know. They should all go to therapy together, I guess. But it's just so annoying to observe because I'm just like, this is such. a pussy is teaching a pussy how to be a pussy.
So you feel like he's babying him by it?
In my opinion, yeah. But then I'm not there 24/7, 365, so I get it. Maybe they're like, dude, this is all I got left because I'm broken by this kid. The kid cries nonstop, and this is all I got. Oh. But observing it, I'm just like, this is just.
Because I do see a ton of soft ass parents, and I disagree with like the moment, but I also empathize with where they're coming from because they came from like our generation where there are zero feelings, zero talk, zero debriefing of anything.
Right.
So I think they're trying to
compensate, overcompensate.
But then it's overcompensating though. Yeah. So I get.
There's that whole gentle parenting movement shit.
That's what.
And then I think they're creating narcissists.
Yeah. Because sometimes I see kids where.
I do too.
They run the show. Like, if they don't want to be there, they'll tell their parent, and then their parent will be like, all right, let's go.
Because the kid doesn't know, like, long-term benefits.
Yeah, exactly.
Short-term pain. The kid is just, this is uncomfortable.
I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this today.
But why are you letting...
And I had the opportunity to remove myself by just bitching, and then I'm gone.
Yeah.
Right. And
like a drop of a hat.
That never existed for us.
We've seen adults with those traits.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not good. Sure.
And by the way, I'm not talking about one of my actual blood brothers. I'm talking about my brother-in-law, who I won't name.
Like it makes a difference.
Because my brother Kenny, who has kids, is epic at it. Genuinely, he makes me want to have kids because he's so good. Like his kid, I was just at this wedding. His kid Faye is just so well behaved, and it's so different than like my sister has kids and they're not very well behaved, but I love them, but they're not very well behaved. My brother Kenny raises kids to like just be well behaved. They're quiet around adults. They're respectful, and like they're cute as shit. And like you can just take in all the good. And that made me and Nikki actually say, like, maybe we want to have kids because Faye exists in this world, as opposed to hanging out with my sister.
But she's hot, though.
That's the only reason I hang out with her.
Does your brother Kenny only have one kid, or does he have two?
He has three.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're all cute as shit, and they're all well behaved.
Sister dates with your sister?
I go on brother-sister dates because it's not weird.
You know what's interesting is that I think like when I see my friends that have kids, it's kind of all across the board, but then in the specific community that I grew up, the Filipino Seventh-day Adventist community, it's pretty similar to how the parenting is almost the same.
Like nothing changed.
Not barely. It's
Still
the same.
beat their kids.
Yeah, it's the same like kind of like because of the basis of like Christianity. You know, like that was the basis for when our parents were raising
Because
us.
Jesus said.
Plus Filipino shit.
That works.
They're not really doing that whole let me like fix the traumas or say they don't think about that at all. Like my whole family I see them treat the kids almost the same as like we were treated, and I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? Because everyone else I just see is everyone's freestyling or inventing their own parenting.
Getting soft.
Yeah, they're just making up their own methods or they're like collecting methods, but then it's like you see your own closest community just pass it down exactly.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
odd.
cool.
Maybe because like when you raise families as a unit, like you're kind of on the same page. Yeah. It's like
There's more consistency for the kids.
That's true.
There's no trauma to fix if we don't recognize the trauma.
What trauma? I was fine.
yeah.
Well, I was raised in a mixed race, neighborhood, and everyone's parents helped to parent the kid. And
Chinese homeboy.
Yeah, my buddy Stanley Wong. But then my whole there was Kyle Kim, he was a Korean kid, and then there was like my buddy Zach, and he was like a white kid, and there was my buddy Derek, who's like a white trash kid, and like we all kind of like just. Everyone's parents had permission to police the kids. And nobody was ever like, don't ever fucking talk to my kid like that, dude. And all that shit never happened.
But that was 90s,
helpful.
like,
It's really
block
helpful.
community, like...
Yeah. But you could have lied about it, by the way. You could have lied about the kid, and the parents would have the adult side, which I just actually agree with more than like this bitching bullshit.
Really soon.
Exactly.
Yeah. And is that the kid whose basement you pooped your pants in? The fucking Chinese kid?
Yeah, Stanley Wong. I pooped his
You
pants.
turned out great.
And Patty, his mom was like,
Wong.
Jesus Christ, dude, you fucking shit his pants.
Those Wranglers.
You know what I mean? And by the way, she found it immediately. Like, they lived in a townhouse, like a brownstone townhouse in Fairfax, Virginia, like 3 stories. She smelled that shit. You know what I mean?
It's not her brand.
Right, exactly. She's like,
I didn't make that.
yeah, I know that's not coming from my house. And she found it under the sink down in the basement, dude. And like, I'm talking like within 10 minutes. Because I was like, I'll just go upstairs, pretend like everything's cool. We'll finish watching Power Rangers. I'll grab my shorts and I'm out of here, dude. Scot free. And I was like, it's perfect because I'm wearing I was wearing long, like, you know, like pajama bottoms basically. I was like, I'll just sneak my shorts down there. And we're Gucci, baby. And like she found it immediately. And then she starts yelling at Stanley. Like, what the hell? You don't shit your pants down here. And then I couldn't let him go down. So I was like, nah, that's my shit my pants. Pretty big time, you know?
Pretty big time shit.
Big time. Thought I was farting and then I just shit all over my pants.
What did Patty say to you?
Dude, Patty was like shocked that I did it. Because she just wanted to blame Stanley so badly.
She's like, Steve couldn't have done
Stanley won.
Yes, no, she wanted to blame Stanley so bad that she was almost disappointed to find out that
She was all riled up.
she was ready to go, dude. And I couldn't let him go down for my crime, so I was like, nah, dude, I shit my pants pretty bad.
That's big of you at that age.
Yeah, thank
To
you.
admit.
Really big. You can't let him go down for a bad
I wouldn't
one.
have said shit. I'll be like, yeah, Stanley, that's fucked up. You did that, bro.
Hey, Stanley, left the Doritos, huh? Hey, maybe let's bean dip next time, brother. Jesus, this guy, what's with this guy? Loves to shit himself. Weird.
Did you know this about your son?
I gotta go home. Power Rangers is at home too. We're fine.
I'll get you the second half at home.
Just nuts.
My dad actually only has one gripe with the way my sister raises her kids, and I don't think he says anything to her, but he's definitely mentioned it to me like 5 times. And it's that my sister's very like schedule oriented with the way her kids are. It's like nap
sleep
time
train,
at this
everything.
time, like everybody showers at this time, dinners at this time, like go to sleep at this time. Like you have to take your nap if you're at this age, blah blah. And it's like I see how it's useful for them, and I can see how like people in today's generation have talked about like, well, it's better if we have these type of schedules, blah blah blah. My dad's always just like, that's the only thing I don't agree. When it's you and Alina, when you grow up, we go somewhere. You want to stay up, we stay up. You go to sleep. Sometimes I don't want you to play games too late, but you still play, so whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I do think we turned out okay. That's real tough. That's a tough argument.
Yeah.
And it is complicated because sometimes when the family wants to go do something, it's like, I got the kids and they have to go to sleep at this time, so I can't come out until this time. And it's like you're okay with
Is it unreasonable?
No, that's the thing. It's like in bed by 6:37ish.
In bed by 6:30?
That's
Kids.
so early. Holy shit.
That is unreasonable.
They're 7, 5,
Couldn't even
and
watch
like
prime time.
2.5 years old or whatever.
That's unreasonable. What the fuck?
But that's the thing. Which again,
3 a.m.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not the
Work out
parent.
at 3 a.m.
So to me, my reaction is like that's her kids.
Yeah, I mean, those are her kids.
So to me, I'm like
doubt.
that's reasonable that you could do whatever the fuck you want with your kids. Don't police me if I have kids. Which is why my dad's respectful like that too. He's not saying it to her, but he's just like, I just think that if we want to go out and something special happens, we go.
Yeah.
I'm like, that makes sense to me. I feel like I might do that.
I mean, kids do thrive off stability, and like I think the studies show you get less anxiety later on in life if you have a consistent like schedule for kids.
Which seems like a reasonable thing to invest in also when you're younger.
No doubt.
But I mean, I see that to be a different thing. And when you have a conversation of like what if in the long run they thrive off of stability and don't get anxiety as much, but then at the same time, when schedules don't work out for them in the future, will they get more anxious?
They get anxiety. Yeah, who knows?
Also, dude, people just leave out fucking basic ass DNA genetic shit. Like, I came from the same family as all my introverted ass fucking brothers and sister, and all of them are introverted as shit. I'm the only extrovert in my whole family. Well, exactly. It's just DNA shit. I was raised in the same environment. And by the way, I hate noise. I hate, if you can't tell, I don't want to have kids because of noise. But I think it's
I didn't have noise.
I think it's because I didn't.
Yeah.
I only was raised with noise, and I find noise very annoying because of it. Like, actually, when I think back to my growing up years, I get pissed when I think about how much noise was in my house.
A kid being mad about that.
Is it because you had a big family?
Yeah, man, it's like 3 siblings, so everyone's doing everything at all hours, and my parents just don't ever stop watching TV. So there's like 3 TVs on in the house all night long, no matter the fuck what. And so growing up, it was just like that. And I just don't like noise at all. And so getting with Nikki is great because she doesn't want a TV in the bedroom. And I'm like, oh my God, this is fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah, so like at night in my neighborhood, especially like where I live now in Vegas, it's quiet as a mouse.
Dude, it's dead
I
silent.
couldn't have anything. I couldn't wish for anything more than that. It's so much better than LA because of that. And so, like, yeah, I just don't want to be around noisy shit. And I don't think that my siblings really have that same problem.
Are their houses still pretty noisy?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Well, they got
the most
kids.
noisiest place ever.
Noisiest place ever.
Dude, it's like
They don't
it's like a bowling alley with like a bunch of drunk people.
It's not a priority for your siblings to keep the house quiet anymore.
Fuck no, it is exactly like
Wow.
when I'm over there, and it like actually
Maybe
makes
that
me want to
brings
get out
them
of there.
comfort.
Yeah.
I think it does,
Yeah.
but I'm just different, and it's weird because they're
it's sure different.
introverts and I'm an extrovert.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be around. I don't want to be around blather.
I thought you were gonna say black people.
No. Well,
Oh, another 20-minute video.
we can let's save it. Let's do 18.
Too long on the blad, dude.
Exactly. No, the
I was like, this is it.
blather really bothers me. Where it's like,
Well, this is
it's
the
just
wrong profession for you, brother.
no, but it's incessant noise for no reason. I don't like that shit.
The yappy yappy It's like junk noise.
Exactly. I like intentional conversation or whatever, or else I'm out of there.
Yeah, it's not like when you're having a dinner party.
I like some, like, it just feels like there's life going on. Like, you hear the clickety-clackety of a dog's paw, and then you hear, like, a baby fucking crying in the background and whatever.
You like sleeping to that?
I think because I had a lot of that, too, but I responded differently to it. Because when my parents first came here, it was my uncle and my aunt also living with their 3 kids. And then us, so it's me and my brother. So then that was like hella people.
Yeah.
And we always had visitors and people coming by. And then they ran a music school in the living room. So there were always people to come. Like when siblings came and took lessons, like I get to play with all the all the brothers and sisters while they wait for their turn to go learn piano.
Yeah.
So that was normal to me. And then so being in an empty ass house and hella quiet, that shit's weird. But what I don't like is city noise.
Oh yeah.
Cause city noise is like, I'm walking here. Yeah, and you're like, I can't fucking sleep. What the fuck?
All day.
Yeah.
I like sleeping to no life.
It's great. No, it's great.
It is really nice.
It's life changing, man. Honestly.
Dead silent.
But I heard from hella like New Yorkers though that when they go to the country, it's too quiet, and they're like, "Where's that fucking white noise?"
They think there's like an axe murderer.
Yeah.
Even when we moved to like the country of San Diego in Escondido, I could hear like coyotes ripping apart rabbits all night. I'm like, there's just no getting away from fucking noise. Because if I go downstairs, I'm just gonna hear, I'm gonna hear like fucking old episodes of Matlock like at 80 fucking volume, or Fox News in the other room, or my brother's playing fucking Mass Effect. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I just gotta get out of
Someone
it.
on the phone, talking loud. Yeah.
One of my favorite memories though is like when my parents are at dinner parties or whatever, and I'm just knocked the fuck out on a restaurant booth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then your fucking parents just pick you up, you go to sleep in the car, and then they pick you up, put you in bed, and you're just like, oh fuck yeah.
The only thing I think I would change, like when I'm raising a kid, is that my parents didn't do, is I would let my kid be a kid just a little bit longer than my parents let me be a kid.
When they tell you Santa wasn't real.
They were from the jump.
They're like, don't believe it.
It was
Only
just like
Jesus
that.
is real.
I think like my dad had always just talked to me like a normal dude, like I wasn't a child.
Hey, bro.
And like I don't remember ever being like babied, which I think is cool. But like I remember wanting to be a silly kid, and like I would get busted for it. And I'm like, dude, aren't I young enough to still be like that? Like I was like thinking that's early. Like I think I would, because I think my dad thought I would turn out retarded if he treated me like that. He didn't want me to become like some kind of like man child. That was fucking weird. But I think like I would let my kid be a little goofball, just a little longer than me.
Maybe they're just annoyed of your pranksterness. Who keeps putting the bubblegum in my shoe?
Classic Ryan prank. Dude.
Classic Omicron.
Picture you putting it in the soul. So when he puts his,
'Cause it sucks when you're-
puts his foot in.
I just was always talked to like a adult. Like I was like, this is fucking weird.
You're mature now.
I would make like stupid silly jokes. My dad would go, "What? That has no meaning." I'm like, yeah, it does.
How old were you?
As long as I can remember, being 4 or 5, I would just go. Blah, 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 blah. My dad would go, "There's no logic. There's no sense in that. What are you doing?"
You just took it so seriously.
He's like, "What?" But he's not a serious guy. He's a funny guy. But he wouldn't play with me. He would.
it was just too far.
He would joke to his family and the rest of the adults. But then when I jump in, I'm like, "Nah, nah, nah." He's like, "That does what? What's the meaning?"
What's the punchline?
Yeah. He goes, "There gotta be a through line. You gotta have a type 5."
You didn't even set it up. No setup.
No setup. No setup.
Stare at me like dead blank. Stare at me like this.
What is this?
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is fucking with Taika. That's like my favorite. Like we'll watch like a UFC fight, like Gene Silver was like he's like a fighter. I'm like, oh, I went to high school with him. And he'll be like, tell me the truth.
He doesn't believe in anything, man. You fuck with him too much.
So he's so skeptical. Which is
I try to fuck with him and it's like, oh, he can't. He doesn't believe anything.
He's too good.
That's my nephew. My nephew is a very smart guy. Very smart. Probably defo autistic, right? But I'll be like, hey, Cody. I'll be like, hey, the moon, you know the moon's made out of cheese. He's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. The moon's made out of minerals. And the moon's made out of rocks. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's made out of Swiss cheese. Read a book. And then he's like, what? No way. And he runs to his dad. He's like, who? And his dad is also autistic. And his dad's like, who told you that? Who told you that?
Oh, no.
And then Cody's like, oh, Uncle Steve, Uncle Steve. And then he's like, don't listen to Uncle Steve. Don't listen to Uncle Steve. It's so fun.
Don't listen to Uncle Steve.
Immediately, like, outraged.
Uncle Steve really believes that.
Yeah. Uncle Steve thinks it's made out of cheese.
What do you think about black people?
Well, I have to do a whole fucking 20-minute video.
Yeah, save it.
I can't be doing this shit.
That's ChatGPT.
Can't do this shit with 30 seconds. Come on now.